We got a bunch of kayaks behind here that are getting temporarily retired.
Put down.
We are headed to Waterdog Outfitters in beautiful Whitehall, Michigan today, and we're gonna pick up 4 new kayaks. Y'all want to go on a road trip and get some new stuff?
I don't, but I do. I really do. It's going to be fun. We are going to be picking up an RVR, a Shoalie, a Flint, and a UMAX.
The River Trio plus the brand new bigger brother.
Which is crazy
to the Unlimited.
Yeah, big bro, you got little bro, and we got big bro coming in.
Big bro is coming in. So we are going to Whitehall, Michigan right now. Let's go there. And then you can check out Waterdog Outfitters, which is a really cool place to buy kayak stuff and camping gear and e-bikes and other outdoor things.
I am Freed. This is Willie. We are the Aggressively Average Anglers. And if you have not been here before, this is what we do on this channel. Get stuff that you're interested in learning more about. We go drive a couple of hours, figure out a way to get it on a trailer, get it back to the spot so we can test it and give you our fully authentic opinion on it.
Jump, Willie, jump. Let's go.
We're here at Waterdog Outfitters. We'll play you the B-roll because it's always looking good at the storefront. The reason we come out here, there's 3 main reasons. 1,
4,
the
5,
owner,
maybe 6
The owner, Steve, is a legend and will always be a legend to us. Great guy, runs a tight shop, whatever have you.
It's in ship shape.
It is in ship shape. But dude, look at this spot. You can come out here whenever you want and he will bring out the Yaxie, which by the by is just basically a golf cart where he hooks up a trailer and you can bring out like 4 to 6 kayaks and you can test them all.
And then it's a taxi.
And dude, you could just come right out here. They have the launch that typically would be in.
This is where Paul fell.
Fell in right there, all on my lonesome. That was all on me. But you can come in this like protected area. Like right now the wind is actually like 15, 20 miles an hour. There's nothing here because it's very protected. And then if you go that way, just a little bit, or to the launch over there, you can get into the river and go up that way.
That's
or
the
you
White
can,
River.
The White River, or you can get onto the main lake.
And that's White Lake.
Out there where White Lake is, so you get some big open water, and you can fully test out whatever kayak you want. And by whatever kayak, what don't they carry?
They carry 7 or 8 brands. So if you want anything from Native and Bonafide to NuCanoe to Crescent,
Old Town.
Yeah, dude. They've got even a bunch of budget options too. So whether you're looking for a premium kayak or a budget kayak, it's all there. And then on that side of town, if you go that way across that bridge, all the restaurants in the cool downtown. And then this way, all the other cool restaurants in downtown.
You can hang out with Steve. You can hang out with the folks at the shop. And it is the best shop. You can actually see it yonder. It's right there.
We're going there in a second.
Right there. This is one of the coolest places. Steve doesn't care about selling you something. He wants to sell you the right thing every single time, which is why we have the Yaxie, why it's in this location, and why he has continued to be successful. And he has helped us out by carrying every brand so we can come in here and test kayaks for you. And what are we doing today? We're going to get some of those new releases. We're going to take them to freak home and we're going to have some fun with them. So let's go get in the shop. Let's go say hi to Steve and hopefully get out of this wind. Welcome to Waterdog Outfitters. Let me get that for you.
Thanks, pal. Bubbers. So we're in the shop, the actual shop part of the shop. This is where they construct things. They've got a full bike shop back here. They also are rigging out kayaks, which is pretty dang cool. Here's a great example of this. This is actually a used Hobie Pro angler that a customer brought into Waterdog Outfitters, and it needed some help. Why did it need help? Check this out. There's a hole in the top deck. Is that a good idea in a kayak, Paul?
Just popped one in there, no big deal. It's a horrible idea. This is the worst sound in the entire world. Oh, God.
It's got some issues. Basically, a whole bunch of DIY stuff like this. This is my nightmare. Look at this. That's open behind there. This is just like cut out piece of milk jug and it's flexing. So if any water at all gets into the hull of your boat, which it will, because guess what? You're on the water.
You've left a hole in your holes in boats.
Hole. Anyways, so Steve is going to fix this for this customer. This is really cool to see. Sometimes people get ideas in their head and like they're great in theory, like solar panels, putting holes in there, or hey, I'll just run this to my battery right here without a Yak Attack through hole kit. Not a good idea. But yeah, then you got folks like Steve and his team that are going to be able to fix that. So they're going to take care of this customer. Love seeing stuff like that. That is another reason why you want to find a great local shop, or in our case, 2.5 hour away shop. It's worth driving to.
Here's another thing that they do very well. They find all the best stuff. So Steve is constantly seeing the best and newest stuff in the market. People are always trying to sell them the best stuff. You can find find things that you can't find a lot of other places that you can actually see. This is from Lead Time.
I've never seen this in person.
Yeah,
which is wild. Get that thing out.
Check this out. This is their Slim Edition. This is a 100 amp hour 12 volt battery. But look at that, totally wild. They have a 50 amp version too. But like, there's just stuff that you just don't see everywhere. Like, I've never seen this in person yet, and it was really cool to be able to see it here.
And now I know that it is extremely heavy, heavier than any battery I've used for the same amp hour rating, and it has towers on the side. But I wouldn't have known that unless I came here. And I think, you know, all products, they're right for somebody. This is definitely right for somebody. For me, I'm grabbing the Low Pro over that any day of the week.
But you also get we talked about all the kayaks that they actually carry.
You mean like this one we're taking home today, the NuCanoe UMAX in this specific color? This might be ours.
I think this might be ours.
I think this is ours.
They have
That's not ours, but I want it to be.
They have the XDR. They carry the full Bonafide lineup. But then if you go that way, you're looking at probably one of the
Crescents
best
ever.
Crescent dealers out here. But they also carry natives. You got the Slayer right here. You got the Hammer there on the other side from native
LTE,
as well.
Hammer,
dude,
Max.
the Skiff. They've got them all, man. They even carry, look, they got the black edition of the Unlimited, which is really, really hot, but also cool. And then they got a whole section here.
We got our catch boards, got our leaderboards, they got all the Yak Attack accessories. They carry Garmin, they carry Newport. There was a whole bunch of boxes over here. They got the Garmin motor. They actually have a really cool Newport stand.
Oh,
Mustang PFDs.
Where have I seen this before?
Look at that one. That's the economy model right there. If you want an affordable, inflatable
The
PFD.
Manual 70 is awesome.
Then you got my favorite right there, the Chimera Dual.
It looks so good. It works so good.
People ask me about this all the time. Look how thin the back of this is. Very comfortable in a kayak.
They got the budget option. They got the expensive option of everything here for you, so you can hold on to the best thing and the budget thing and everything in between. Dude, I didn't know. Of course, they would have this. The P-Track. Dude,
and then you got the starter kit if you want to just go all in. They actually have both of them. So the starter kit plus with the track pack, you get a few extra bonuses in there, which is cool. Oh yeah, they carried Broken Twig. I think this is where we first saw a Broken Twig, actually.
No freaking way.
Yep. This hockey stick has won some games.
It saw some days, it slung some pucks, and it can snatch some fish too.
But then they also have like the cheaper Yak Attack net, so you can go with like $45. But I mean, dude, can you beat the hockey stick? It's hard to beat.
They got Malone, everything. Look, at the end of the day, it's great having not a shop that you can depend on to carry the right things at the right times, find the best possible price for you, have it all in one place, and let you get all the boats on the water. Like we said earlier, Steve's really only goal is not to just sell you something, he wants to sell you the right thing. That's why we are here all the time. They carry all the best brands. They carry a massive lineup, and there's really...
We made all of those?
All that stuff, and there's really nobody else in Michigan that can even compete. This is the spot.
Oh, it's a wet and wild one out here in Whitehall, Michigan, and usually typically beautiful.
Typically beautiful.
First kayak up on the docket, we got the NuCanoe Unlimited Max, otherwise known as the UMAX.
Now I want to hit the specs right here. We're fortunate enough to have the spec card right here. $2,499 for this brand new version of the Unlimited, the UMAX. It is 41 inches wide. It is 13'6", so a little bit longer than the prior models, the Unlimited, and definitely has a lot of the same components. So you still get 500 pounds of self-bailing usable capacity with a fully maxed out capacity of 750, which is pretty significant. Let's go front to back. It still takes the gear pod. Thankfully, put 2 bolts right here, lock that thing down, option to lock it in the front. They do have a new pattern up here for you to mount your trolling motors, and also to double as a handle with a much larger, this thing is a beast, giving you more access to the hull for your wiring. This plate here up front has been improved, in my opinion, drastically from the prior models. You have to drill some holes here. You can actually kind of see right here, here, and here is your space for your 4-bolt pattern. You can put the hook right on top, or you can put a plate up here. Dealer's choice. I'm gonna try and hold the mic nice and close, and I'll try and speak kindly so you get good audio. A couple of things you're gonna notice. One, we do have actual rod retainers, so your rod tips actually go inside underneath this plate, and it can protect your rods. Then you come back here, and you actually have what we have found on the U10, which is this little coffin area for you to actually store your reels. It does still do like the buddy mode. You get the 2-person mode, so you can see the track goes all the way from the front, all the way to the back. Probably one of the longest tracks in industry. luxury, I'd be willing to say, and this can accommodate 2 anglers at a time. You also have a lot more cup holders. It's kind of actually, you got on each side, 1, 2, 3, boom, 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 boom. So you got 6 right there. And then you do still have your integrated rod tubes back here as well, which can be deleted at some point for you to put things like a light from Catch or whatever you happen to want. And then they do have your access plates right here. Now, these are really, really great. Once you take these 4 bolts off, I believe you'll still have a flat plastic in the back that you can drill a hole into, and then you can mount whatever you want to the outside of this kayak and then replace these as needed. And then the vast improvement that we were talking about with this plate is that this area is actually open, and that's for access. So you can get your hand in there, reach whatever you need to reach to install lighting, because that was one of the hardest things to do in the prior models, is actually doing lighting on the sides or just any kind of wiring up front. More access up front is a W. You still are going to need to use the TRS system for your transducer mount, but you also have here the clip is like pre-loaded. This is like where your retainer strap is going to be for the cable for pulling that up and down, and then your transducer mounts up, down there, and a little hidey hole to protect your transducer when it is pulled up. And the cavity is very deep, so it is going to protect that transducer really well, which is a huge deal. You got a ton, and I mean a ton, 16 self-bailing scupper holes here. We used to see a wet ride with the Unlimited, and they are clearly trying to address that, not only with the shape, but also with the number of scuppers inside of this kayak for water to drain out and not to be jumping inside of your kayak. There is a teardrop shaped scupper and plastic on the inside. Again, we're trying to keep water from shooting up inside of the kayak while you are not just at speed, but when you're walking around the kayak as well. And then by turning this, you're actually creating enough space for water to get out. And then when you want to seal it, you just turn it to the right and it will lock in place and keep water from getting in or going out, which is very nice to have, and honestly a convenient upgrade. Again, we mentioned all the track. You have these 2 up here. Now these 2, if you lock down the gear pod, that will be your gear pod, but you actually get extra track with the gear pod up front. Then you have your accessories 1, 2, 3, and 4 up here, and then you get 2 more for either your rear angler or for locking down a crate or whatever it is that you want to do in the back, camera, what have you. And then this is a huge change from prior models. You'll see this box back here with the atomically loud and intense latches. Pull this thing up and you have a battery box. You can fit 2 Group 31 size batteries side by side back here, or whatever it is that your heart desires. So you can see this big waterproof gasket. We already talked about how well this thing overlaps. You can see in here, there's a monster overlap. So when you set this down and then you use these crazy latches, yeah, no water is getting in there. And then when you open it up again, they actually include their own branded through hull kit right there for you to actually drill a hole back here and then access all the electronics back here as well. So the through hull kit lets you get wiring from the inside of the box back to here, which is also an open area. So now you have access on both sides of the box and to the rear of the kayak to do whatever wiring, rigging you choose or need to do. Whether that is a Newport, doesn't matter. However you're doing it, you have access. It's huge. Still get the same setup back here. These 2 tracks right back here allow you to use their EPS system, their Quick Connect system, which honestly is revolutionary. It gives you 1-foot steering capability, allows you to do a pedal drive if you so chose to do that, and allows for the 180 quick connect for like a Newport motor here on the back, which is honestly, in our opinion, best in class for mounting that Newport stern style motor. And that is it for the NuCanoe. I think we probably need to get one of our old trusty dusty favorites and one of the best colors ever made. That is ink. We're gonna go ahead and grab the Crescent Shoalie. Now this is one of our favorite boats of all time, especially for river fishing. This is the Crescent Shoalie. So this is a nice little combo design collab between Drew Gregory, phenomenal shallow water paddling river fishermen, and the brand Crescent. This really put them on the market with fishermen, and there's a good reason why. What's really great about this boat is it's lightweight. Everything you really need is already molded into the kayak and ready to go, and you don't really need to add much to it. It paddles phenomenally. Got this big bulbous front end here, keeps you nose up and high when you're running shallows, when you're running current, when you're in a sticky situation. You can stand in this. It is stable enough for you to stand, but really this is designed for you to be sat down in and do your river fishing. And when you're in the river sitting in it, especially in the low position, it is just about as stable as you can ask for. That balance between maneuverability, paddleability, and stability is kind of perfect for the river. MSRP on this kayak is still $16.49 and it's held there for quite a while. When you go front to back, right here, there's actually a lot happening here. You have a metal track, you have these 2, they're not pad eyes, but these two holders right here, and then you have this strap with a whole bunch of extra. Now what you can do with that extra, as Jeff was helping to demonstrate, you can pull this out, and what you end up with is a handle for walking the dog on this kayak, or you can strap it around your waist. Very convenient, and then when you're done with it, hold please, you can just tighten it back up, like so. Tuck the rest back in underneath into your front hatch. Now the front hatch, there's some really cool things about it. Now the front hatch, one thing you'll notice is there's no hinges, there's these two straps. That makes this very like fail safe, which is, you get a lot of that with this. Like they use a lot of webbing instead of shot cord like they do here in the back. This gives you a lot of flexibility, but the durability is insanely high, and that's kind of one of the things they're going for. You do get your paddle holder right here, and then you'll notice you have these slots up here and through here, and that's really for rod rests. And then you get your butt rests right here and back here for either storage, or for when you're river fishing, you got just sort of like rods resting on the deck, which is usually what I end up doing. Open it up. You actually have internal rod storage. So it comes with these two holes. You can actually shove a rod all the way through here, let your reel rest, and then you've got these notches right here for resting your rod butts in transport. Not necessarily ideal for when you're on the river, unless you can get out and get your stuff, but for transport, very convenient. Now there are a couple things with this kayak that you have to do when you're modding it out. And one thing is, if you want access to this front area to do a motor install or any kind of wiring, you actually end up having to cut from about here all the way around and taking this whole thing out, good and bad, right? We have a couple of things we call the Shoalie problem. One is front hatch access. The other, all the way back here, is that while there is a place for you to either mount a plate or do a 4-bolt pattern, you have to drill 4 holes here and just hope they line up perfectly. You can already tell that these don't line up perfectly square. You got to do a little bit of modding to make this what you want, and that is what we call the Shoalie problem. However, once you do get it rigged out, it's phenomenal. It's very, very fast, very, very efficient. Dude, limited edition ink color is fire. Crescent absolutely crushed it with this one, and this one's been here for 2 years, and I've always said, like, look, if someone is silly enough to not purchase this, I'm gonna be the one to take it home, and here we are.
And now it matches our unlimited.
2 purple people eaters. And right up here you have a really cool area. So you got a spot for your cell phone, which I've never used. I've actually taken this out on the Shoalies that I've had because it's just gotten in the way. But you have a retainer strap right here. Just depending on how you want to use this, you can, there you go. You can put a bar across here and actually make a mini captain's bridge, which I have found to be very convenient. This also will just like store electronics. So you can put a little battery here or just mount your electronics right to here. And I've actually done crossbars this way too to mount a smaller screen, and then you can have the cable going right to your transducer right underneath where there is a spot for a transducer. Really only one company that makes a great transducer mount. It is a fixed mount. It's Yak Hobby. It is phenomenal, very heavy duty, very well made. I have my old one because I knew someday I was gonna get back in this kayak and I never wanted to get rid of that thing because it rocks. You have track on both sides. These are fixed foot position pedals that it comes with, like footrests. They look like this. They're nothing fancy, but when you take these red tabs out, they just kind of pop out. This actually becomes foot steering. It's a little grindy over time, but it does work and it doesn't cost you anything extra, which is super great. You can swap these out. This is a standard bolt pattern, thank goodness, for you to put your own on. But yeah, it does come with foot steering if you need it, and it's, you know, it can work. Moving on quickly to the back, you have your cup holders. That's great. You do have these 2 bungee cables on either side for mounting your, for holding your boxes, which is really convenient. And then you do get decent under seat storage as long as you're in the high position. This does convert to a low position. All you got to do is loosen your tether. This thing goes up, goes down, and now you are super low for like your running rapids and things like that. There is a space here for wheels if you want it, which is very convenient. And then you have spots right here for like a taco clip for you to either put paddles or rod holders, whatever it is that you happen to want. Obviously, you got a decent storage back here. This really is for a 13x13. That's what I run back here more often than not. And lastly, you do have solid access to get back here and do your mounting. And this is one of my favorite things. This is where we talk about things that are molded in. You just have the chute right here. This is the easiest way to have, to run a cable. Honestly, this boat through and through is one of the best river fishing boats available. And we'll figure out where it actually lands once we get it compared to the other 3. That is the Crescent Shoalie, and now let's go to the RVR.
So we got the Bonafide RVR here because we want to put together a river kayak comparison video with what we believe are potentially the top 3 river kayaks. The obvious 1 and 2 spots held by the Bonafide RVR and the Crescent Shoalie. The 3rd place spot possibly held by the NuCanoe Flint. Now you could argue that the U10 or the Unlimited are great river boats too. They definitely are, but all 3 of these kayaks we're talking about, they're made for the river. They were born in the river, and they are far superior when it comes to paddling as compared to the NuCanoe Unlimited and U10. So first up, let's look at the Bonafide RVR. We're gonna take this home, get this thing rigged out. Probably gonna call on our boy, Dave Erkey, Wolf of Walmart, to get some tips on that, because he has one of these. He already runs this, he knows what to do. Bow to stern, what do we got? The most well thought out anchor system in kayaks, period. The end, it's not close. So they actually run your anchor line internally through the hull of the boat, and you can run one to the stern, and you could run one to the bow. Now, typically in the river, we prefer to run it out the bow and then have a motor in the back instead. So we'll probably do that. It's cool that you have these rollers here too. So this means that you don't need the anchor chute that you would get with something like an anchor wizard. That's what this is designed for, but you can just have that line come right out here, hang your anchor of choice right under this handle here. It's out of the way, and then drop that down with ease by mounting your anchor wizard drum back here. So they've got a plastic plate on either side so that you can set it up to your heart's content, but this side is obviously designed to have that anchor go up here. I like that because we're probably putting our throttle on that side instead. The only thing to note with this is that when you put the anchor drum here, the low profile at least, you're kind of like hitting your hand when you crank that thing. So that is one situation. It has been solved. There's 3D printed parts you can get. There's also aluminum parts that you can get for this thing. So we'll figure it out in a later rigging video. Stay tuned for that. Up here, you got this rubber piece here, and you can see all these little grooves, so you can just hang your rods out. Just the rod tips will hang over top of that. And then your rod butt storage goes back here. Really well thought out for sure. Pretty much everything on this boat is really well thought out. So you got your paddle strap up here, Velcro that out. You can throw your paddle in there, or you can just tighten it down, slap it in between this open spot right here, and then that'll tuck under this as well. The pre-Power Link plates, this is what came out before them, much bigger in size, which is great. So you got this big access hatch here. There's also one in the rear of the boat. So if you need access, you got those plates in the front and in the back, which is cool. And then up here, you got a little bit of track that you can add cleats, tethers, etc., all sorts of different accessories. You've got this self-contained pod situation here too. Check this out. So if we one-handed, super easy to do, pop that out. This is open up. You can mount a transducer on the bottom here. Put your graph up top, just mounted directly to this, and it's all in one, and then your battery goes on the inside. So we're gonna put a NuCanoe in here, screen on top, not sure which one, we haven't decided yet, and then on the bottom we'll mount that transducer. Then you can remove the whole thing when you're ready to go just by flipping this latch and pulling that off. All comes out. So that's super cool. You can drop some weight when you need to transport the thing. There is track here, although it kind of like, I don't know, it's in a kind of an awkward position with your foot pedals. This will turn into foot steering if you want it to. We'll probably rip these out and just put the Wizard FCS kit in there anyway, so we'll see how it lines up. We'll test it later. Your bump board spot right here, this is really well thought out. It's actually lower on this side, so you can tip it. That way your fish is less likely to jump out of the boat. Probably still do it for me. Then we got a nice comfy seat. It's not as overbuilt as like the PWR seat, but it is still a very solid seat. Should be extra comfortable. You've got this side plate on the right side, so extra accessories can go there. On the left side, there's a track. Like the tech specs on this thing are kind of insane. There's plenty of space underneath that seat too, so anything extra that you want to toss around in your boat, you can do that. Just keep it out of the way. And then of course the rod butts actually go all the way back to here. Again, really well thought out boat. When you got those longer rods in here and you're running skinny, choked out rivers, it's a good thing to tuck them into your boat as far as humanly possible. You've got room to clamp on the Bonafide river bag, which is called the Sidekick. We've used it a ton. It's awesome. So you can throw that on this sucker. You got a clip to keep your seat in place so it won't bounce around on you too much. Extra storage back here if you want to throw a smaller battery or kit or whatever you want to throw in there, that'll work. And then you've got your spot for your crate in the back. Now, I mean, it looks like it could accommodate a 16 by 16. We're probably running 13s or 13 by 16s. And then you've already got your black pack crate clips as well. And all of that on heavy duty shot cord, extra tether points in the back. And then you got your handle back here. I mean, again, it's a really teched out river kayak. I like it a lot. We've never gotten it onto a river, and that's why we got to do that river comparison coming soon. Next up, let's check out the NuCanoe Flint. Last up in the lineup for the river video that we're going to be testing out is the NuCanoe Flint. This is not a new kayak, but it's new to us. We definitely have never tested it out. First time we actually like sat in one was at the Columbus Fishing Expo. So what I can tell you about this is it's extremely lightweight. It's an MSRP of $10.99, $1,100. It's a little bit thinner It's really built for speed, built to handle the rapids. Now, obviously, we're gonna have to put that to the test when we do our river video side by side with the RVR and the Crescent Shoalie. Bow to stern on this, couple of great features. You've got the very comfortable front grip handle here. You've got the rod tip protectors up there too. You've got the catch board holder, so you can set that board up in there and maybe even tuck your paddle under that if you want to. You've got track in the front so that you can run the gear pod as well. Track up here for extra accessories. If you wanted to run a fish finder, you can run it right down that scupper hole there, and it's a little tucked in on the bottom, so you can keep your transducer somewhat protected as well. There's actually a molded in paddle holder here too, so you can just lay your paddle in front for you. Molded in footrest here for added stability while paddling. Extra long track for your seat so you can find the right adjustment for yourself. You've got that rubber webbing here too, so you can fit a 3600 size box and a cup there if you want. It's a little molded in cup holder. Moving on to the back, extra tether points right there, and here 4 included rod holders that are flush mount and will go out the back at an angle, which is nice. Now again, River will try to steal your rod still, so watch out for those tree overhangs. They'll get you. They got me. But you got that there, and these clips, you could add a tether for your rods too, which would be really a good idea. And then you got extra track in the back. You got the circle hatch in the back here as well if you need to get access to the hull. You've got a single pull handle. We actually didn't know this was here. It was a secret, but it works. It's a great way to carry this kayak around. And then it looks like potentially you could mount something in the back if you wanted to. I'm not sure on that. We're gonna have to figure that out for sure. We do have taco clips on the side as well. I will tell you, I'd highly recommend it. Add a tether to that. Ask me how I know. Last up, the seat. It is a very low profile seat. We actually sat at this at the Columbus Fishing Expo, and your legs will just be straight out in front of you. So be prepared for that. That said, they do sell seat risers, and you could add a swivel because this is a Millennium Fusion seat, which is one of the best seats in kayak fishing, period. For any kayak, we love it. But if you want to add the swivel, you could. I wouldn't on this kayak, but the risers, maybe. So I got a bunch of questions about this kayak. We're gonna hit up the NuCanoe team as well as people we know who have already rigged this thing out. I wanna see, could you put a motor on this? How would that work? I don't know, we're gonna figure it out. One thing I will say is that at first glance, it looks like a very lightweight, very skinny, maybe possibly tippy, we don't know about stability, kind of low profile kayak. So I'm looking at this going like, I'm 6'1", 230. Is this gonna be the right kayak for me potentially, or Paul? And then I remember our buddy Ted, who guides on the Flat River, ran this thing for a couple of years, took his dog out on it even, and Ted's over 6'5", I think. He's a big dude, so if he can run this, I think pretty much anybody could. And we're gonna put it to the test. We're gonna find out. So that's it for us here at Waterdog Outfitters in typically beautiful Whitehall, Michigan. What do you say, Mr. Squatch? Sound good?
Sounds great.
Great. All right. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Hopefully you are subscribed. If not, do so. Smash that like, ring that notification bell, because coming soon, we're going to have that river video, a bunch of kayak comparisons. Also, we got to rig out that UMAX. So a lot of work for us to do, and a lot of videos for you guys to check out.
Rigging out the UMAX to the max.
To the max. Appreciate you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.
Later.